Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, GuySuCo to lessen dependency on government. Business summit ends on positive note. Government to continue fiscal support for private sector growth. And hurricane-ravaged St. Martin working to rebuild island. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. Daddy! And now for the details. GuySuCo is making moves to lessen dependency on government subvention as it begins downsizing. Zanil Williams has more.
Finance Director of GuySuCo, Paul Bim, says more emphasis is to be placed on value-added sugar production at the remaining 3 estates as the corporation aims to become cash positive by 2020.
With the 3 estates that are remaining, we're looking to maximize our revenue from the value-added sugar. That is sugar sold into CARICOM, which is mainly bagged sugar and packaged sugar. The local market as well takes about 20,000 tons of bagged sugar per year, and we also are looking to sell packaged sugar in the local market. In addition to that, we have a small U.S. quota of about 13,000 tons. The prices are similar to probably what you're going to get when the European price was pretty good. So we're going to be satisfying that quota as well.
The government, acting on recommendations from a white paper on sugar, will downsize production to Albion, Blairmont, and Iflet estates. While the Albion estate will continue bulk sugar production, it will also engage in cogeneration, plantation white sugar, and molasses production. Blairmont and Iflet will engage in bagged and packaged sugar. Iflet is also going to engage in plantation white sugar.
So next year, we'll still be selling some amount of sugar into Europe at those very, very low world market prices. Hence the reason we are still going to be dependent on the government for subvention. As we gradually get away from the raw sugar market and head towards maximizing on the bagged and the packaged sugar, we are also looking at doing something called plantation white sugar. Now, plantation white is really a substitute for a refined white sugar.
The state-owned corporation is confident that with this new business model, it will no longer need government subventions. Over the last 2 years, the government has injected $32 billion into GuySuCo. Included in GuySuCo's reorganization plan are measures to facilitate alternative employment for persons made redundant. The corporation is also carrying out studies towards the implementation of a sustainable community program to mitigate the shock in communities surrounding the Rose Hall and Enmore estates, which are winding down for closure. Zanil Williams reporting for InfoHub.
Government promises to continue fiscal support for private sector growth. More from Paul McAdam.
Minister within the Ministry of Finance, Jai-Paul Sharma, says that the government recognizes the substantial economic and the social impact of the private sector on the macroeconomy. He looks forward to it taking up its responsibilities.
This government is aspiring to structural transformation in Guyana to foster inclusive growth and development. In this process, we recognize that the role of the private sector is crucial. It is for this reason that in 2017, fiscal measure was put in place to facilitate private sector expansion and sustainability.
Additionally, Minister Sharma says government will continue to implement economic policies favorable to strengthening the sector.
The reduction in the corporate tax rate of 30% to 27.5%, the introduction of a dual tax system for companies involving commercial and non-commercial activities, and the fiscal incentive to promote the investments in the context of a green economy are initiatives of the government to foster private sector development.
The Ghana Business Summit 2017 was hosted over 2 days at the Ghana Marriott by the Private Sector Commission with financial assistance from the Inter-American Development Bank. Among the presenters were government representatives, the parliamentary opposition, and civil society. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
A special Mays Primary School Parent-Teachers Association meeting on Thursday engaged parents and students and the Ministry of Health officials in discussions about human papillomavirus. Gabriela Patram tells us more.
Director, Caribbean Surgery Incorporated, Dr. Surendra Prasad, explained that this is the 4th phase in multi-stage discussions at the school on the prevention of cervical cancer.
We all know 20 plus women of every 100,000 in Guyana die from cervical cancer, which is today considered a preventable disease. The Ministry of Health's plan is 36,000 doses they have, and the idea is to vaccinate girls between 9 and 13.
Dr. Prasad was delighted with the responses. He said it was evident that more persons are willing to be educated on the vaccine. Between 2003 to 2012, Guyana recorded 6,518 new cases of cancers for an overall cumulative incidence rate of 867.7 per 100,000 populations. 3,956 or 60% were females and the remainder males. A parent described the discussion as an excellent way to spread awareness.
I heard a lot of programs on the radio as well about the campaign that's going on. And I know people have a lot of questions and concerns over the age, being as young as 9, and the fact that you have to explain to the children why they're getting the vaccine.
The Public Health Ministry is promoting the HPV vaccine importance countrywide. Gabriella Patram for InfoHub.
The Guyana Fire Service observes Fire Prevention Week. Details from Paul McAdam.
The theme for this year's observance is Embrace Fire Safety, Safeguard Your Environment to Promote Sustainable Development. Fire Prevention Officer Andrew Holder said that the theme was chosen taking into consideration the recent natural disasters that plagued some Caribbean islands.
The message we want to send to the population is that, for example, when you light your small fires, let's say in your backyard, your small garbage fires, it sends toxic fumes to the atmosphere. And the scientists told us that that act damages the ozone layer, which invites or make way for natural disasters such as hurricanes.
The senior fire official indicated that this year's focus will be on the business community. He also noted that whilst there has been a decrease in the percentage of fires set by children, there has been a significant increase in those started by adults.
The fire department has seen in the past or in recent times an increase in fires started by adults as a mean of settling domestic disputes. And we want to caution homeowners and residents and the population at large against such act.
Some of the activities planned for this year's Fire Prevention Week include unannounced fire drills at government agencies, educational lectures in schools, and a Man in the Street outreach program. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
InfoHub's Gabriella Patram tells us that the Guyana Business Summit ended with 2 high-level panel discussions.
The final day of the Guyana Business Summit 2017 saw presentations from Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin and Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan. During a panel discussion on the Public-Private Partnership Framework, Minister Gaskin addressed the area of sourcing capital market development. Concerns were raised on the absence of the framework. However, Minister Gaskin said that its absence will not prevent stakeholders' investment.
I don't think the absence of a P3 framework prevents co-invest from either from engaging trade relations, either outgoing or incoming. But to be fair, what it does or what it would help with is the unsolicited proposals that come our way. We have a lot of investors who are not coming here necessarily to open up a business and get cracking. They're coming here to engage in something that is actually a long-term contract with the government.
On the subject of the government and legal architecture, Minister Kemraj Ramjatan pointed to the fact that the administration has been following a systematic progression of transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior. He highlighted a number of initiatives undertaken by the government to ensure that there is always transparency and accountability.
We started dealing with certain things that we felt that is going to open up transparency and accountability and ensure the Public Procurement Commission, along with the opposition, of course, because we could not have set it up without the opposition, ensuring that that is put in place after a number of years.
Both panel discussions featured interactions from representatives from the parliamentary opposition, business operatives, and other stakeholders. Gabriella Patram for InfoHub.
Prime Minister of Dutch St. Martin, William Marlin, says they are assiduously rebuilding their infrastructure and economy. InfoHub's Zanil Williams spoke with him exclusively.
Just after 1 month, Hurricane Irma devastated the island of St. Martin, residents have been working tirelessly to rebuild their nation.
We have lost basically everything. Many cars are damaged, all our hotel properties are damaged, the airport, the harbor was out of commission, we had no telephone communication, we had no Wi-Fi, we had no radio station, so we were knocked down. When we look at where we came from and a month after how far we are, our airport officially opened today for commercial flights, even though we have been receiving relief flights days after the hurricane. Our harbor can receive cruise ships. Again, we've been receiving cargo ships. Officially, we will reopen for cruise tourism on the 11th of November.
The island has come quite a far way, according to Prime Minister William Marlin, who noted that though the journey has been long, the island has begun the rebuilding process.
Water is available throughout the island, even though our storage tanks have been compromised, and some of the water you cannot drink directly from the tap. So we are advising people, not that it is not healthy, but we are advising people still to boil the water, but in the meantime, we have brought in a reverse osmosis plant that filters the water from the city lines and make it into potable drinking water.
He reiterated that tourism, which is a major economic drive for the island, will remain a priority.
St. Martin is still in #1 destination, not just a destination for tourism. It is a great place to live and to work. Particularly because of the dollarized economy that we have. St. Martin will, and with time, within very short time, St. Martin will rise to the levels that we were before and become even better.
Zanil Williams reporting from St. Martin for InfoHub.
In our final report, we chat with some senior citizens. They are the nurturers of families and guardians of traditions, and this month we observe and honor their sacrifices and contributions. On Friday, a team from InfoHub took time to chat with some of the residents of the Millicent Greaves Memorial Seniors Residence.
I spent 6 years in the Army with a corporal, a two-stripe man was 3101. My name was James Taylor. I was a driving instructor in the Army. But while I like the Army, if it allowed me to be my chief, in any condition, it allowed me to be my chief. Because when you're in the lab, don't tell you things like coach or anything, right? But I had some officers starting to setting to hurt your feelings.
I have my own place, but I prefer to stay here. The children told me that I must stay here, that I mustn't go to my home in Section K, Campbellville, and I'm feeling comfortable here, just like if it's my home.
I got a big mistake. I like to dance plenty.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was putting the dancing floor. Right, and I like to go to my church too, right? So I tell you all my business. I like to be church, I like to dance, and I like to eat plenty. And everything that is nice, right? But a little moderation.
While their members of the Youths for Change were pitching to clean and beautify the compound of the senior citizens' home. This was one of several such activities they have planned for the month.
We saw it necessary because given this mental elderly and we're youths, to show some sort of respect, some sort of acknowledgement for those who paved the way for us.
The month of the elderly is being observed from October 1 to 31 in recognition of the contributions of the senior citizens to society. Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.